Okay, so you landed the new job. That's awesome. But then you get hit with a mountain of benefits paperwork. It feels like you need a translator, right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do here. We'll break it all down and show you how these options can be a serious boost to your wallet.
I mean, does this whole scene feel familiar? You're so pumped about your new role, and then suddenly you're supposed to decide on your 401k, your health plan, and wait, what on earth is an HSA or an FSA? It's so easy to just say, I'll deal with this later, especially with everything else going on. But trust me, you'd be leaving a lot of money on the table if you just skip it.
And hey, if you're feeling lost, you are in good company. So many people we hear from say things like, I've never even heard of that, or yeah, I just opted out, or it looked way too expensive. It's a super common feeling. But let's try to look at this from a totally different angle. This is where we flip the script. See, when you look at your paycheck and see another deduction, your first thought is probably, great, less money for me. And I totally get it, but this is the key. It's not a deduction in the way you think. It's actually more like a pay raise. This isn't about finding extra money to save. It's about taking the money you're already spending on things anyway and just paying for them in a smarter, tax-free way. It's not a loss, it's a power move.
So, how does this magic actually work? Well, it all boils down to one simple but powerful idea: pre-tax dollars. Let's dig into what that really means for you. Okay, check this out. Think of a post-tax dollar. That's a dollar that's already had taxes taken out of it. So it's really more like 75 or 80 cents by the time it hits your bank account. But a pre-tax dollar, that's the whole buck, the full 100 cents. You get to use that entire dollar for stuff you're already buying, like prescriptions, daycare, contact solution, before the government takes its slice. It's like your money just got a serious promotion.
All right, so how do we put these super-powered pre-tax dollars to work? The easiest place to start for most people is with healthcare costs. And that brings us to two acronyms you're going to see a lot: HSA and FSA. They sound almost the same, but trust me, they're very different tools for very different jobs.
So first up, let's talk about the FSA. That stands for Flexible Spending Account. Basically, you put pre-tax money into this account to pay for medical stuff you know is coming. Things like copays, your prescriptions, even sunscreen counts. There's also a version for dependent care, which is a lifesaver for daycare costs. But there's a catch, and it's a big one. It's mostly a use-it-or-lose-it deal. You have to decide how much money to put in for the whole year, and if you don't spend it all by the deadline, poof, it's gone.
Now, if that whole use-it-or-lose-it thing just gave you a little anxiety, you're gonna want to listen up. Meet the HSA, or Health Savings Account. To get one, you usually need to be on a high-deductible health plan. But here's the huge difference. That money is yours. It's your personal savings account. It rolls over every single year. You take it with you if you switch jobs, and, this is the really cool part, you can invest it and let it grow.
So let's just put them side by side to make it super clear. For an HSA, you need that high-deductible plan. FSAs are a bit more common. The biggest difference? Right there in the middle, rollovers. HSA money is yours forever. FSA money, not so much. And for the long game, that investment option with the HSA is its secret weapon. We're definitely coming back to that.
Okay, so how do you choose? It's actually pretty simple. Let's just walk through it. Question 1. Are you on a high-deductible health plan? If the answer is no, then your choice is made for you. The FSA is your go-to. Easy. But if you said yes, then you have another question to ask yourself. Are you looking for a long-term investment tool, or do you just need to cover predictable expenses you have every single year? Your answer right there will tell you exactly which account is the right fit.
All right, so we've nailed down saving money on your health, which is huge for right now. But this whole pre-tax strategy isn't just about today. It can be an absolute game changer for your future. I'm talking the big stuff, like education for your kids, your own retirement, and even saving money on your boring daily commute.
Just look at that number, $50,000. That's roughly what it could cost for a 4-year degree at a state school. That feels impossible to save, right? Like, where does that even come from? But with the right kind of account, it's actually not as scary as it looks.
This is where something called a 529 plan is a total hero. It's a perfect example of compound interest doing its thing. If you start from day one and put in just about $143 a month, that money can grow completely tax-free. And by the time your kid turns 18, boom, you could hit that $50,000 goal. It takes this giant, terrifying number and breaks it down into something you can actually do.
And hey, remember our friend the HSA? Well, it has a secret identity. It's secretly one of the most powerful retirement accounts you can possibly have. Why? Because it's triple tax advantaged. Listen to this. 1. The money goes in tax-free. 2. It grows tax-free. And 3. As long as you use it for medical costs and retirement, it comes out tax-free. That's the trifecta. Most retirement accounts only give you 1 or 2 of those tax breaks. Getting all 3 is like finding a unicorn.
Okay, enough with the acronyms and theory. All this stuff is great, but what does it actually look like in real dollars and cents? Let's take a look at a real-world example to see just how much this can actually save you.
You know, there's this idea out there, a myth really, that these kinds of accounts are only for wealthy people. You know, people who are planning for 50 years from now, not just trying to get through the week. But that is just not true. These tools were made to help you save money on the bills you're already paying right now.
So let's imagine a typical family. Let's say they bring in the median household income, which is around $84,000 a year. And their expenses are pretty normal. Maybe $1,000 a year on things like prescriptions and doctor's visits, and another $6,000 for part-time daycare. I mean, these are the real everyday costs that millions of us are dealing with.
Okay, so what happens if this family pays for those exact same things, but instead of using their debit card, they run them through an HSA and a dependent care FSA? They would get a tax break of almost $2,000. $2,000 a year. That is a huge amount of savings, just for changing how they paid for the bills they already had.
And get this, that's just their savings from their own money. A lot of companies will actually pitch in and put money into your HSA for you. Something like 3 out of every 4 companies that offer an HSA do this. That is literally free money. If you don't sign up, you are leaving free money on the table.
Okay, so hopefully you're seeing the potential here. So what's next? What do you actually do? The next time you get that benefits enrollment packet, don't just shove it in a drawer. Let's make a super simple action plan.
It's just 4 easy steps. 1. Guesstimate your costs for the year. You know, what you'll probably spend on prescriptions, daycare, maybe your train pass. 2. Look at your health plan and see if you can get an HSA. 3. Ask questions. Your HR department is there to help. Seriously, that's their job. And finally, number 4, enroll. And then the fun part. Check your next pay stub and actually see those savings.
You know, getting through that little bit of discomfort now, just figuring this stuff out, can make your life so much easier financially down the road. So really, the only question left is, what are you going to use your first pre-tax dollar on? That daycare bill? Next month's commute? That prescription you have to pick up anyway? It's your money. The choice is yours.